Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 223 of the Well Done Life podcast. And hello, welcome back to episode 223 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I am so glad that you're here with us this week. I hope that you will stay for a very long time. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, and I'm truly grateful for all of your support over the years and all of the people that you bring. So keep bringing friends, keep hanging out, and let's do this thing together. Before we get started with this week's episode, I'm sure for those of you who have listened before, you have probably gotten a way where you can recite this by heart, but it's really important to me to be really foundational before we kind of dive into today's topic. It's always important that everyone understand that whenever you come to this space, that this is a safe space. And in this safe space, we treat it like a house. And so we want to make sure that our house is built on two very important things, and that is clarity and love. Clarity is really straightforward. I just want to make sure that you understand that I created the Well Done Life brand because I believe in the power of women. I believe in us having spaces where we literally can be our most authentic self. And so on my journey to do that, I have shared my story, the good and the bad of it all, because I really want you to have an opportunity to see that a lot of the things that you're experiencing in life are not things that you will not survive. I want you hopefully to really avoid some of the pitfalls that I've made, because I've made quite a few, and I want you to be inspired because there's power in our stories. And I don't just tell my story. I know it's been a while, but I also do have guests come on and elevate and share their stories as well, because I do believe in all of us kind of sitting together and talking and sharing. I think that's important. We don't do enough of that. We interact with social media in this quick microwave kind of way, but having deep, insightful, connective conversations just gives us a way, like I said, to be inspired, to heal, and to grow. So that's what this space is all about. And so welcome. And I hope that you will be inspired and heal and laugh and cry and do all the things so that you will then go in turn and share your story and create community. That's what this is all about. We all need each other. We have so many differences, but our similarities are things that we need to lean more into because they can help us grow and be better people. So that is why you were here. And so again, thank you and welcome you. And then that leads into my other foundation, because everything is rooted in love, and love is the second foundation, the main foundation. I'm a sucker for love. I say that all the time. I believe in love. And so for me, it's very important that I show you love by sharing prayers with you, because I do believe in the power of prayer. I do believe that when two or more people are praying in alignment, that our prayers are magnified. And Lord knows we all need some prayers right about now, because everybody's going through something. No matter what the world may try to tell us, we are all going through something. So it is very important to me to send prayers. So for me this week, I am standing on peace. Peace is definitely going to be, I think, the prayer for the next several years. Like it's probably going to be until to the end, to my last breath. I am praying that you carve out time for peace, because life is doing its thing. And we'll talk a little bit more about that today, but life is really doing its thing, and life is not going to stop doing its thing. And I'm just not going to pretend. I've said this before and I keep saying it. Adulting is ghetto, and it really is. And God knows we are all out here trying to do the best that we can. But these level of adulting that we are starting to have to do, especially as we get older, it is so hard, because I'm not going to lie. I was saying this to actually my boyfriend this week and to my friend. There is no one who prepares you for the losses that you take as an adult. And when I talk about the losses, I'm talking about not just from a financial standpoint, but I'm talking about from an emotional standpoint. I mean, we are in these cycles of life, these seasons of life, where the people who gave birth to us or who nurtured us are now transitioning. We are saying goodbye to our elders. We are saying goodbye to the people that shaped us, and nobody prepared you for that. I don't know about y'all, but I never had those conversations with my family, with my friends, or like even with the people that I love and have lost, like, what am I going to do without you? And so a lot of us are facing the situation where it's like, wow, all of the, the people that were roots for us, some of our roots, some of our foundational people are leaving us in the natural. And so we are having to lean into our spiritual side and having to navigate grief and so many things. And so that's why I said this level of life is different. Adulting is ghetto, is super ghetto, but the losses that you take can be so devastating. And it's like, how do you find your path forward? How do you navigate it? So I am praying that you will be able to carve out some peace so that you are able to reset yourself, that you are able to take a breath, because life is doing its thing and losses come sometimes so quickly and you are not prepared. And it's like, how do you navigate it? I am praying that you take a moment to breathe, that you have a moment to stand still, to sit still, no matter where it is. Even if you have to sit in your car, we've talked about that before. Sitting in your car can be healing. It can be therapy, just being in your car. I hope that you have peace this week. I really am praying that for you. No matter what experience that you are having, I want you to carve out some time for peace. Of course, with peace, I'm always going to want to stand on love. I stand on love all the time because I want you to have real love. I want you to have true love. I want you to have foundational love. I'm talking about love that loves you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. I'm talking about love that corrects you when you're wrong, that gives you guidance, that supports you and encourages you. Like I said, this level of life that we're living is crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on and you feel pulled in so many different directions. This is a time where, in an instance, it probably feels weird, but it has to be done. You still have to selfishly pour into you. You still have to selfishly desire to care and nurture and to love on you so that you can be able to love on other people. So what I mean by that is that I hope that you are giving your self space to be in love, to be loved, to be in love with yourself, where you are giving yourself space to realize that you deserve the best love. You deserve love that is supportive and kind and intentional and clear so that you can magnify that back. And if you're in a season of hurt, because we've all been there, myself included, like I said before, where it's hard for you to give love right now because you're hurting. I hope that you are giving yourself the love of therapy or some type of person speaking into your life to help you find balance, to heal the wounds that you are dealing with. Because I think a lot of people feel like, when they're in seasons of, work and progress and healing, it's like, I can't be loved because I'm healing and working on myself. And in some instances that may be the case, but in a lot of instances, that's not the case. God could be sending you exactly what you need in the form of another person, be it love, be it relational, friendship, therapeutic, whatever, so that you can actually move through this situation. Don't be afraid to open your heart to love. Don't be afraid while you're healing to receive it. Sometimes you need that energy to pour into you in those moments, because those persons can't heal you. That's not their job, but they can help you maybe peel back layers that help you be able to dive deeper into your health, mentally, physically, spiritually, that can help you find the confidence you need to realize that you deserve to be loved on the best positive level. And so don't block yourself off to that love, to that healing. Give yourself the space to have it because you deserve it. Never forget, in the words of the great philosopher Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, you deserve to have it all. And there's nothing wrong with having it all. So go have it all. And don't be afraid to love on you. And then I'm going to round out prayers this week, obviously, with abundance. I've been standing on abundance. I'm going to continuously stand on abundance. Of course, I always want you to be financially blessed, but I want you to be blessed in your spirit because, I'm not going to lie, adulting is ghetto and outside is super expensive. So there is only so much money that you probably should wind up spending on trying to worry about material things, that it is what it is. But you want to make sure that outside of the material, that you're not just feeding that, you're feeding your soul. You're feeding your heart. And that's where, like I said, being able to have love, to receive love, to give love is so important. To be able to have a core group of people, your tribe, your people, your community, your clique, whatever you call them, is so important. I mean, these are seasons and times where literally we need each other. We act like we don't, but we need each other so that we can be abundant spiritually. Don't lose sight of that trying to work in the hustle. The hustle is what it is. It's never going to stop. But to be fulfilled and to be cared for and to be loved, it is the greatest thing that you can ever have, because the memories that you will make are going to sustain you when the darkness comes, when the moments feel real heavy and hard and you have countless things to think back on that weren't always related to a dollar. So I really pray that you find abundance this week. So those are my prayers for you. I'm recording on Saturday, May 31st at 1:59 p.m. Yes, it is the last day of May. I'll be honest. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this week. I have a lot on my mind. And so this is kind of like a different format. I want to thank everyone, obviously, for their support of last week's episode. I know I'm kind of chuckling because I can't believe I recorded that, but I needed to about, talking about let it be before it takes you out. Yes, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it, long story short, short story long, I fell down the stairs trying to referee a fight between my mom and my sister over some foolishness, child, some veggie bacon. And in that moment of falling down the stairs, especially at 52 years old, I recognize that I need to be reminded in this moment. I need to let people be, because if I don't let them be, you're going to take me out. And it's so funny because I've had to give that analogy to someone so much this week, because it's like we keep trying to fight other people's battles when we need to just let folks be. We need to let them figure it out. So if you are in a space where you need some encouragement and so that you can pull back, that you can stop trying to be the ultimate, the super sister saver hoe to everybody, be super sister saver hoe to yourself, save you, because if you're not, you're going to get taken out, then that episode is for you. And I'm going to make sure that I link it in the show notes so that you can get a chance to check it out if you feel inspired. But today is a little different because, like I said, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. It has definitely been a week, to say the least, but I really am glad that I'm doing this. The only regret that I have is that I didn't ever get a chance to interview her, because I would have had that, but we're going to talk about that. So long story short, short story long, my godmother passed away this week. She passed away Wednesday evening, and I'm trying to navigate it, and I wanted to talk about it because my godmother wasn't just my godmother. My godmother was my second mother. My godmother was an ever-present force in my life. She has been that way since I was 8 years old, and y'all know I'm 52. So yes, we have time invested in this relationship. And my godmother was amazing. I am so grateful for everything that she has ever taught me, that she has ever said to me. She was charming and opinionated in the best way. She was the kind of woman who would definitely tell it how it is and then turn around and cook a plate of food for everybody in the room. Like, she took care of people. My godmother was like a rock, and she made space for people. She loved everybody, everyone. There was never a stranger in her mind. And when you got to know her, you always were better. That's what I always say, because she would laugh with you. She would cry with you. She would talk with you. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like she was there for me in my darkest hour. She was my family, even though we didn't share blood. And so I wanted to take a moment to talk about her, because in her passing, I feel like, obviously, I want to honor the woman that she was, but I also want to honor the fact that I think a lot of us sometimes forget not all family is blood related. That yes, and let me say it again, not all family is blood related, because my godmother, like I said, she was my second mother. She was my second mother. And my mom is not jealous because that's her best friend. I was raised by my mom, and obviously, but my mom, my godmother, and then my mother's other friend, Sheila. And Sheila had already transitioned, unfortunately, before my godmother just passed away. But they were like the Golden Girls. And like I said, these ladies have foundationally been in my life since, if I think about it, I was 8 years old. I literally have on my bed right now a blanket that my mother's friend Sheila knitted for me when I was like 10. And I still sleep with that blanket every night at 52. Yes, I sleep with a blanket. That blanket has been with me through college and everything, because again, it was just a part of the rearing that I had. And so, like I said, I want to make sure I honor them. And I talk about this because I think sometimes we need to be reminded that not all family is blood. Sometimes God sends us people who feel like home. He sends you people that show up and cover you and love us into who we're becoming. And those relationships, they are sacred. And they're actually sometimes even more sacred than the blood relationships that you have. And my godmother, she was one of those people for me. Actually, not just my godmother, her entire family, like literally, like they are my family. Her sister is my god sister. Her mother is my god grandmother. Like they have always been by my side. I mean, and I'm just so grateful that she chose me. I'm so grateful that she chose me and Tracy to love on, because she loved us in a way that made us feel chosen and seen every time. Every single time. And like I said, in my darkest hour, she was the one who was there. And I don't know how I feel. Like it does hurt, but I think what's carrying me through is that I know that when the love is real, it doesn't disappear. It becomes legacy. So now I'm focused on the legacy. It becomes the memory. It becomes the voice in my head that says, stand tall. I was raised better than this. I wasn't raised to fall. I wasn't raised to give up in sadness and focus on that, because my godmother was a partying woman. She was the life of the party. She was the red light in the basement kind of woman with the hot, sweaty, dancing kind of woman. Yes, that's a whole nother story. Yes, like literally a friend of mine walked in and her and another friend were having a party, honey, and the red light was on. So, and these were people in their 40s and 50s. So you know what I mean? She was everything. And I'm just really grateful for her. And as I'm grieving, but I'll be honest, it's not the grief that I'm thinking about, because I know that she's not in pain. I know that she is well. I know where she is. She is definitely right at the right hand of God. He has welcomed her clearly into the gates of heaven. I know my Father is up there with her, welcoming her in. Her family's with her. I know that she is covered. I know that she is due, because she comes from a long line of praying women. She is one of those praying women. I am thanking God with the knowledge that I know now. I have another praying angel up there advocating for me, covering for me, helping me. She was heaven sent in everything. But I am sitting in not grief, but gratitude for her, because I wouldn't be the woman that I am without her. And I think what we all need to understand, again, like I said, sometimes when we have to remember that not all family is blood, we have to remember that some people are here, heaven sent, to help shape you, to help build you, to help you be the best version of yourself. And she was definitely that woman for me. Like I said, I've known her since I was 8 years old, and she's just been a part of my life. Always been that person that I could talk to about anything. And literally, as I have navigated some of the hardest moments of my life, like I said, just dealing with myself, dealing with my mom when I became a caregiver, she was the person I would call when I wanted to just throw it all away. When I would call her at times and be like, I'm going to put your best friend out of my house and put her in a home, and she'd have to talk me off the ledge. Yes, she was the one talking me off the ledge. And sometimes I would talk her off the ledge. Yeah, we had that kind of relationship, because even though sometimes, obviously she was an elder and she was, definitely strong, she kept it real. Sometimes she wasn't in the right spaces, and I would help give her encouragement, because she was a caregiver as well. It's amazing to me how God aligns you with those people, like I said, that you need when you needed it. I couldn't see it in the moments when it first started, but she was always there. When my father died, she was the one that I called to help my mother. Instantly, she was the first person, because I knew she could get to her, and I knew she would. I know she would drop everything. She would move heaven and earth to make sure that we had everything that we need and we were taken care of. And when that happened, she was right there by my side, 10 toes down, making sure that I didn't have to worry, help guiding me, because like I said, nobody prepares you for the level of life that we're experiencing, where you start to have the losses. And when I started to have my first loss as an adult, my first true loss at 38, I remember, with losing my father, I instantly was thrown into a cycle where it was like, okay, I have to figure out in less than 3 hours how now to become a caregiver. But at the same time, I also have to figure out how to take care of my mother. I have to figure out how I'm going to take care of my father's remains, how I'm going to take care of all these things and matters that I had no knowledge and preparation and planning for. Because I'm not going to lie, we were that family to have those discussions. And then I'll be honest, that's like a quick PSA to everybody who may be in that situation with parents and elders. Start trying to have those conversations. God knows I did. Let me just preface that. I always tried to have conversations with my parents about, their will and their insurance and what's going on. So if something were to happen to you, what would you want to do? But it wasn't like I didn't push it probably as much as I should. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, because it really stressed me out having to figure out how to move, because unfortunately people want you to move. They don't want to give you time to figure it out. It's like, okay, unfortunately he's deceased. We need to figure it out. He's here at the morgue. You need to figure it out. And I'm just like swimming in information. I'm like, okay, I just literally drove 3 hours so I could figure out how to get here with just the clothes on my back and my sister. And now we have to figure out how to move through navigating this next level of life. And I didn't have to do it alone. My godmother was the one who guided me. She dropped everything and made sure I had what I need. She helped guide me to the funeral home. She helped guide me through the process. She helped make sure we had what we needed so that we could go on. Because in my mind, I wasn't thinking clearly, but I didn't know how to navigate it. And I didn't have a whole bunch of family behind me, because unfortunately we just don't have those kind of relationships. Literally the family that I've got within my four walls of my house, and obviously some extended cousins, that's all I got, and a brother. At the time, I didn't have this big wealth of people who could help me. But she was that one who was right there. And she never tried to take over. She always was a guiding force. She always was somebody there to hold me and let me cry and just be that rock for me. And I think we have to understand that that is such a blessing. So if we have people in our lives who are shaping us, who have shaped us, give them their flowers now. And be grateful for the time that you are having them and make memories with them. And see, like, yes, I can talk about the grief that I feel, because yes, I do feel grief, but I feel like I have to talk more about the joy, because I know that honors her more. I know that I have to talk about the fact that this woman was, like I said, she was a force. She never was afraid to just be, and she lived life on her terms. And I want to make sure that I honor her, because I feel like there's nothing else to do but that. And I know her in my head, she's telling me there's no tears, because I lived a life well done. I want you to continue to live a life well done. And as, things unfortunately were progressing with her health, we would have beautiful conversations. And I'm not going to go into all of those things, but we would talk about, next steps. And she would talk to me about making sure that I was there for my sister and making sure that I'm taking care of my mother. And she would talk to me about my love, because even though they never got a chance to meet, he would send her prayers like through voice note, and she got a chance to hear him and stuff. And he would, just stop everything if I asked him to pray for her and pray. And she was like, he's a good man. Yeah, she would be like, he's a good man, Pamela, not Savannah, but Pamela, good man. And that, you probably going to be together, and you should be together and be happy because you deserve that. I just want to make sure that, we take a moment to honor those things. I want to make sure that I remind you. I use this as something to hopefully jar you, to remind you to reach out to the women in your life who have shaped you. Reach out to those women. If they're still here, reach out, love on them, talk about them, talk to them, show up, and just be there, because you deserve that time. Make those memories, because they are the quiet architects of our strength. Like I said, I didn't realize how much she was shaping me until I really look back at the full course of it all, because she shaped me. She built me. Like when I was young, like I was really nerdy and quiet and stuff. I was really shy, but she just totally would encourage me to keep going. When I didn't drive right after college, she would take me to work with her, because we all worked in the same place, child. And we would just talk and laugh, and she would just try to encourage me to be the best version of myself. And I just loved hearing all of her adventures, because my godmother lived a full life. life. She just was full. Having that opportunity to sit down with someone like that who has lived a full life, even though that life may not have always been easy, is a blessing. You got to think about it. In this days and time where everything is so microwave, how many of us are getting the chance to talk to people who've actually lived some of the things in the history books so that we can actually learn from them, so we can see their legacy? And her legacy was so beautiful. She has such a beautiful family. And I'm so grateful that I have that extended family because, yes, unfortunately, her transition hurts and she's gone. But the love that I have for them is never wavering. Like, I'm 10 toes down. Like, my god sister and I, we talk all the time. I'm going to call her actually after I finish recording and check in with her and see how she's doing because she's navigating this whole new level of life herself. And I just want to make sure she knows that she's supported. That's why I'm saying, again, it is so important to make sure that we connect with the people that we love, the women in our lives, the people in our lives who have shaped us, because we would never be where we are right now. We would never be in the spot where we can have the conversations that we are having right now. So make sure you value the memories, make memories. And it never was about the buck with us. Like, it wasn't. She would tell me at sometimes, like, you ain't got to do this for me. You don't have to do this. But I did it because I love her. I always wanted to make sure she had nice things. If I can give it to her, give her little gifts, because her and her family with us, they've been there for us when nobody else was. And that's what I'm talking about. Honoring those people who helped shape us. Don't give up on that. Don't lose sight of it. It is very easy to focus on our own paths, but sometimes we have to recognize the importance of slowing down enough to remember the people who helped make us who we are. And I know sometimes it's not something that we think about every day. It doesn't have to be, but life is fleeting. Life is fleeting. And you don't want to be caught out there. You don't want to be caught out there. That's really what it is. You don't want to be caught out there. We are all trying to make it. Just make sure that you keep connection, that you keep talking to people that you love. Don't lose track of the ones that really held you down, that really built you. Because believe it or not, they need you still. And you need them. Because there are still so many levels of lessons to learn. And I am blessed and favored that over the decades that I got to spend with her, she shaped me and built me in so many ways over those times. And to be able to have her until now, I know is a precious gift. And of course, I always wanted more time, but I am so grateful that God gave me what I got. And I hope that, like I said, you will take this as an opportunity to honor those people in your life that have shaped you. Reach out to them, connect with them, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And so I hope that you will take that time to make sure that you have those memories and connections built. So as I kind of wind this down, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to my godmother, Vernice. Thank you for your love, your charm, your fire, and your care. You didn't just take care of people. You raised the bar for how to love people well. I will carry you with me always. And to every woman listening, I hope you remember that it's okay to let others love you. It's okay to build family in unexpected places. And you know what? It's okay to be that woman for someone else. I think it's important. This is a legacy. Like I said, it's a community. And sometimes you are the community builder. And I am so grateful that I had that community. So I want to thank you guys for holding space with me today. I know, like I said, this is a little bit different, but I had to make sure that I did it because those are the feelings that I feel so much more than the grief. It's just reminding people to love on those people who love on you, and don't be afraid to be a rock for someone else. If this touched you, I'd love for you to share a story or memory with me about a woman in your life or someone in your life who helped shape your life, blood or chosen. And let's speak their names and keep their light alive. So until next time, I hope that you guys will take care of yourselves and each other, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.